A fan is rotating at 90 rpm. It is then switched off. It stops after 21 revolutions. Calculate the time taken by it to stop, assuming that the frictional torque is constant. In first numerical, it is given that the initial frequency is 90 rpm, 90 revolutions per minute. So we can take n0 equal to 90 rpm. Now we have to convert it into rps. Therefore, it will be n0 is equal to 90 by 60 rps is equal to 1.5 rps. Okay. Now the initial angular velocity will be 2 pi into n0. So omega suffix 0 is equal to 2 pi n0. Now putting the values, we will get 2 pi into 1.5, that will be 3 pi radian per second. So omega 0 is 3 pi radian per second. Now in this numerical, it is given that after completing 21 revolutions, the fan stops. Okay, so we can calculate the total angle made by the blades during these 21 revolutions. So the total angle is given by angular displacement made by the blades of the fan is given by theta is equal to 2 pi into capital N. Capital N is the number of revolutions, that is given as 21. So it will be theta is equal to 2 pi into 21. It will become theta is equal to 21 into 2 is 42 pi radian. Okay, now let us suppose that after time interval t, the fan stops. As the fan is stopped after time t, it means the final angular velocity will be 0. So final angular velocity omega is taken as 0. Okay. Now we can take the kinematical equations for rotational motion. In this case, if you know the kinematical equation in linear equation in linear motion is v square is equal to u square plus 2as. So in this equation we can put in place of u omega 0, in place of v we can take omega, in place of s we can take theta angular displacement, and in case of a means linear acceleration we can put alpha, that is angular acceleration. So the kinematical equation will be it will be like this: omega square is equal to omega 0 square plus 2 alpha into theta. Now by just rearrange these equations, we will get alpha is equal to omega square minus omega 0 square divided by 2 theta. This is our equation 1. Okay, now we can use the definition of angular acceleration. We know that angular acceleration is equal to rate of change of angular velocity. It means alpha is equal to change in angular velocity, means omega minus omega 0 divided by time. Therefore, it will be alpha is equal to omega minus omega 0 divided by time. This is our equation number 2. Now we can compare these two equations. As we compare, we will get omega square minus omega 0 square by 2 theta equal to omega minus omega 0 by t. Now putting these values, omega is 0, omega 0 is 3 pi. Then when we and theta is 42 pi as we just calculated it. Okay. Now putting all these values and solving, as you are looking at the screen, putting all these values and solving all these values, we can get t is equal to 84 pi square by 3 pi square get cancelled, and dividing 84 by 3 is 28. So the answer is 28 seconds. It means that the fan will be stopped after completing 21 revolutions in 28 seconds. A motorcyclist to be treated as a point mass is to undertake horizontal circles inside the horizontal wall of a well of inner radius 4 meter. Coefficient of static friction between the tires and the walls is 0.4. Calculate the minimum speed and frequency necessary to perform this instant. Use g is equal to 10 meter per second square. Okay, let's start now second numerical. In this problem, it is given that there is a cylindrical well of death having radius 4 meter, and For the walls of this death of well of death, the static friction, the coefficient of static friction is 0.4, and we have to calculate the required minimum velocity. Okay, and also we have to calculate the minimum required frequency to complete the revolution. So in this problem, as first of all we are writing down the given data. First, r is equal to radius is equal to 4 meter, and coefficient of static friction, that is mu s, is equal to 0.4. We have to take g is equal to, means gravitational acceleration, as 10 meter per second square. Okay, our target is v minimum and n minimum frequency. Okay, now inside the cylindrical well of death, the minimum velocity which is required to complete the horizontal circle inside the well is v minimum is equal to square root of rg upon mu s. Okay, so we have to put all these values here. That will be 4 into 10 by 0.4, and if we calculate all these values, it will become under root 40 by 0.4. It becomes 400 by 4, means square root of 100, and square root of 100 means 10. So the answer is 10 meter per second. It means that for the motorcyclist, minimum 10 meter per second speed is required to complete the horizontal circles inside the cylindrical well of death. Okay, now we have to calculate the frequency also. For this, we are using the velocity, the definition of velocity. We know that linear velocity is equal to distance by time. Okay, so let us suppose that the motorcyclist is completing one revolution, one complete circle. In one complete circle, the distance covered by the motorcycle will be circumference, means 2 pi r, and the time required by the motorcyclist for completing this one circle will be time period. Okay, so therefore v minimum will becomes 2 pi r upon capital T, means circumference divided by time period. But 1 upon T is frequency. Therefore, we can take 1 upon T as n, and so we get n minimum is equal to v minimum divided by 2 pi r. Okay, now put the value of v minimum, that is 10, and the value of r as 4. We will, and solving this, we will get n minimum is equal to 10 upon 25.136, and if we take 25 as matlab 0.136 approximately as 25, so n minimum will be equal to 10 upon 25 approximately, and so its answer will be n minimum is equal to 0.4 revolutions per second. Okay, let's start third problem. A racing track of curvature 9.9 meter is banked at tan inverse 0.5. Coefficient of static friction between the track and the tires of the vehicle is 0.2. Determine the speed limits with 10% margin. Okay. So in this problem, it is given that radius of curvature is 9.9 meter, and theta, means angle of banking, is tan inverse 0.5. Okay. In addition to this, the coefficient of static friction is 0.2. From the values of theta and mu s, it is very clear that this is the case of a banked road with friction. Okay. Here we have to calculate the values of lower speed limit and the upper speed limit for the maximum safe velocity. Okay, most safe velocity. Okay, now for the lower limit, we have the formula is v minimum is equal to square root of rg in bracket tan theta minus mu s divided by 1 plus mu s into tan theta. Now putting all the values, we get the v minimum is equal to square root of 9.9 into 10 in bracket tan of theta. Theta is tan inverse 0.5. So tan in bracket tan inverse 0.5 minus mu s is 0.2 divided by 1 plus 0.2 into tan of tan inverse 0.5. Okay. Now, as you see, tan into tan inverse, it will gets cancelled, and so we get V minimum is equal to square root of 99 into 0.5 minus 0.2 divided by 1 plus 0.2 into 0.5. Now 0.5 minus 0.2 is 0.3, and divided by 0.2 into 0.5 will be 0.10. Okay, so if we calculate this, we get V minimum is equal to square root of 99 into bracket 0.3 divided by 1 plus 0.1. Now it becomes like this: V minimum is equal to square root of 99 into 0.3 by 1.1. Now we can calculate, we can cut 99 by 1.1, so it becomes 90 square root of 90 into 0.3. If we solve these, we get V minimum is equal to square root of 27, and the value of square root of 27 is 5.196 meter per second. So V minimum is found to be 5.196 meter per second. But in our problem, it is given that we have to calculate this by 10% margin. Now, as we are asking about V minimum, therefore we have to calculate the allowed V minimum. The allowed V minimum will be 10% more than this value. This is the real minimum value, and 10% margin means we have to calculate the 10% upper value of this V minimum. Therefore, we have to add 10% of this value in it. Okay. So, if we are taking it as V minimum required is equal to the V minimum which we calculate 5.196 into 10% increase. Therefore, 10% increase means it will become 100 plus 10 means 110 divided by 10 divided by 100. So, V minimum required will become 5.196 into 110 divided by 100. Now, if we solve this, we get V minimum required is equal to 5.716 meter per second. So, this is the this is our answer actually. This is the 10% margin value of V minimum. Okay. Now we have to calculate the upper limit. Okay. First of all, let's see the formula. The maximum limit, yeah, maximum velocity on a bank road with friction is given by square root of Rg in bracket tan theta plus mu s divided by 1 minus mu s into tan theta. Okay. Now putting all these values, 9.9 in place of R, 10 in place of G. Okay, tan of theta means tan of tan inverse 0.5, and mu s in place of mu s we are using 0.2. Okay, solving all these values, we get V maximum is equal to 99 in bracket 0.5 plus 0.2 divided by 1 minus 0.2 into 0.5. Okay, now it becomes square root of 99 in bracket 0.7 divided by 1 minus 0.1. Solving this value, we get V max is equal to square root of 99 into 0.7 divided by 0.9. Now we can now we can cut 99 by 0.9. It becomes 110. Solving this, we get V max is equal to under root 77. Now square root of 77 is 8.775 meter per second. Okay, this is the actual value of the upper limit or maximum velocity for the vehicle to pass along the given track. Okay, but in our problem it is asked that we have to calculate the 10% margin of this maximum limit. Now, as this is the maximum limit, therefore the 10% margin will be the 10% less. We have to calculate the 10% less value of this V max. Okay, so for this purpose, we can write it like this: V maximum required is equal to 8.775 means the real maximum value into 10% less means 100 minus 10 means 90 divided by 100. Okay, so we get like this: V max required will be 8.775 into 90 by 100. If you solve it, we get 7.898 meter per second. So this is the 10% margin value of maximum limit. Okay. Okay, let's start our fourth problem. In this problem, a merry-go-round usually consists of a central vertical pillar. At the top of it, there are horizontal rods which can rotate about vertical axis. At the end of this horizontal rod, there is a vertical rod fitted like an elbow joint. At the lower end of each vertical rod, there is a horse on which the rider can sit. As the merry-go-round is set into rotation, these vertical rods move away from the axle by making some angle with the vertical. Okay. Now here is the picture of this merry-go-round. Okay. The figure above shows vertical section of a merry-go-round in which the initially vertical rods are inclined with the vertical at 37 degree during rotation. Calculate the frequency of revolution of the merry-go-round. In this problem, there is a given value is we have to use g is equal to pi square meter per second square, and sine of 37 degrees 0.6. Okay. Now, first of all, we have to keep in mind some facts. Okay. The value of angle of inclination, that is 37 degree, is a very special number. Okay. Sine of 37 degree is 0.6, and if you take tan of 37 degree, you will get 0.75. Means the value of tan 37 degree is 3 by 4, 3 over 4. Okay. So keep in mind these values. Now we have to calculate this. Now initially, when the merry-go-round is at rest, the position is like this. Okay, this is the position of the rod. Okay, this rod is fixed. Okay, this rod, horizontal rod, is fixed, and this rod, vertical rod, is like this initially. So the value of r will be 2.1 meter only. Now when the merry-go-round starts to rotate, this rod moves in this direction away from center due to centrifugal force. So at a particular instant, this second rod goes to this position, and this is the angle which is given as 37 degree. So if we want to calculate the original radius of circle, we have to consider this much length like this here. So this total up to this is the total radius of the circle. Okay. अब यहाँ आप देखिए, ये वाला जो पोर्शन है इतना, this will be the horizontal component of the second rod. Means this rod is we can resolve this rod into two components. This is the vertical component and this is the horizontal component. So horizontal component will be length into sine of theta. Okay. And because the angle theta is given here, so vertical component will be length into cos of theta, like along this. But in this case, this length will be length of the rod into sine of theta. Okay, let's start now. First of all, the given things are the horizontal length h is equal to 2.1 meter, and the vertical length is 1.5 meter. Okay, and the angle of inclination is 37 degree. Okay, so when we take the original radius of the circle, it will be r is equal to h plus horizontal component of the inclined rod that is V sine theta. Okay, and putting the values, R is equal to, the value of H is 2.1, the value of V is 1.5. So it will become 2.1 plus 1.5 into sine of 37 degree. Sine of 37 is given in our problem. It is given as 0.6. So putting these values and solving, we get R is equal to 2.1 plus 0.9. It will become R is equal to 3.0 meter. Okay. So the radius of merry-go-round is 3 meter now. Okay. Now let us suppose that during this circular motion, tension T is created in the rod. Now if we are taking capital T as tension, then we have to resolve this tension also into two components. The vertical component will become T cos theta and the horizontal component will become T sin theta. Now we know that the vertical component T cos theta will balance by the weight mg, and the horizontal component T sin theta will be balanced by the centrifugal force or centripetal force, which are numerically equal to mr omega square. So along the horizontal line we can compare T sin theta with centripetal force, and along the vertical line we can compare T cos theta with mg weight. So comparing these pairs, we get T cos theta is equal to mg. This is our equation 1, and T sin theta is equal to mr omega square, equation 2. Now we can divide equation 2 by equation 1. When we divide, we get T sin theta over T cos theta is equal to mr omega square by mg. Now T gets cancelled with T. Sin theta upon cos theta is tan theta, and on the right side m gets cancelled. Therefore we get tan theta is equal to r omega square by g. Okay. Now we can take omega is equal to 2 pi n. So tan theta will become r into 2 pi n bracket square by g. Solving this equation, we get tan theta is equal to 4 pi square into n square into r divided by g. So tan theta is equal to 4 pi square into n square into r divided by, the value of g in this problem is given as pi square. So we have to take it as pi square. Now pi square gets cancelled. So we get tan theta is equal to 4n square into r. Now n square is equal to, we are transferring 4r to left sides. It will become n square is equal to tan theta divided by 4r. Now putting the values, we get n is equal to square root of tan theta upon 4r. Now putting the value of theta, that is 37 degree, and initially I had informed you that tan of 37 is 3 by 4. Okay, so keep in mind this is a very special number. Tan of 37 degree is 37 degree is a very special angle. For it, the value of tan 37 is 3 by 4. So we can put it now. N is equal to square root of tan 37 degree divided by 4 into 3. And now it is 3 by 4 upon 4 into 3. Okay. Now 3 gets cancelled and we get 1 upon 16. 4 into 4 is 16. So the answer will be n is equal to 1 upon 4 or 0.25 revolutions per second. So this is the frequency which is required to complete the circles by the merry-go-round. Okay. Okay, let's start our fifth problem. Semi-vertical angle of a conical section of a funnel is 37 degree. There is a small ball kept inside the funnel. On rotating the funnel, the maximum speed that the ball can have in order to remain in the funnel is 2 meter per second. Calculate inner radius of the brim of the funnel. Is there any limit upon the frequency of rotation? How much is it? Is it lower or upper limits? Give a logical reasoning. And in bracket it is given that use g is equal to 10 meter per second square and sine 37 degree is equal to 0.6. Again you have to keep in mind that tan of 37 degree is 3 over 4. Okay. Now let's start this. In this problem, it is given that maximum linear velocity is 2 meter per Vmax is equal to 2 meter per second to keep the ball inside the funnel. Okay, and the angle of inclination is 37 degree, and we have to calculate the value of R and the minimum limit of frequency and the maximum limit of frequency. Okay, now just look at this figure. In this figure, a funnel is shown and a ball is revolving inside this funnel at a particular instant. The forces which are acting on this ball are weight mg, which is downward, acting in downward direction. The normal reaction n is perpendicular to the plane of the funnel. Okay, therefore we can resolve this normal reaction into two components. Horizontal component will be n cos theta and the vertical component will be n sin theta. So if we compare the horizontal line and the vertical lines, we can compare n sin theta with mg, and we can compare n cos theta with centripetal force, because centripetal force will be there or centrifugal force will be there to keep the ball revolving in circular motion. Okay, now in this problem, when we compare these two values, we get n sin theta is equal to mg, means we are comparing the vertical line now, and if we compare the horizontal line, we get n cos theta will be equal to centripetal force, means mv square by r. Now dividing equation 1 by equation 2. Okay, so we get n sin theta over n cos theta is equal to mg upon mv square by r. Now solving this, we get n gets cancelled and m gets cancelled on right side also. So we get tan theta, sin theta over cos theta is tan theta. So tan theta will be equal to rg upon v square. Now we can transfer g and v square to left side. We get r is equal to v square into tan theta divided by g. Okay, this is our equation 3rd. Now for maximum value of radius, we have to take the maximum value of velocity, and the maximum velocity which is given in our problem is 2 meter per second. So it becomes r max will be equal to v max square into tan theta upon g. R max will be equal to 2 square into tan 37 degree divided by 10. Now putting all these values and solving, we get R max will be equal to 4 into tan 37 is 3 by 4 divided by 10. So we can calculate it like 4 and 4 gets cancelled and we get 3 by 10, and so the maximum value of radius will be obtained as 0.3 meter. So R max is equal to 0.3 meter. Okay. Now in order to calculate the lower limit of velocity, the lower value of velocity will be 0, because we cannot make the velocity as negative. So minimum possible limit for linear velocity is 0. So if we take v as 0, we have to take r as 0 also, because v is directly proportional to r. And if we are taking v as 0 and r is 0, r equal to 0 or r tends to 0, then we will get the value of frequency will be indefinite. Means we cannot calculate it. So it is not possible for us to calculate the maximum limit of the frequency. Okay. So frequency increases when we take velocity nearly equal to 0 and radius nearly equal to 0, but this is not possible. Okay, because in this case the frequency will become infinite, or it will become we cannot actually find this type of value, because it will become 0 over 0. Okay, so practically it is not possible for us to calculate the frequency limit for this case. Okay, for the upper limit, okay, upper value or maximum value of frequency. Now uh, we can calculate the minimum possible frequency in this problem, and for that purpose we can take v minimum is equal to maximum velocity divided by total circumference, maximum possible circumference. And in this case we get v minimum is equal to uh, v maximum is 2, so the putting all these values we get v n minimum is equal to 2 upon 2 into 3.142 into 0.3. If you solve these numbers, we get n minimum is equal to 1 upon 0.9426, and on dividing we get n minimum is equal to 1.0609. Now as 0609 is a very small number, so we can neglect it, and so we can take n minimum as nearly equal to 1 revolutions per second. Okay, so this is the minimum possible frequency by which the ball will retain its circular motion inside the given funnel. Okay.